Hey guys, welcome to Fit Station. Again, we're continuing our series on Fitness 101, or the Basics 101, boot camp if you will. And I'm here with Kelly again, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over the back, biceps, and triceps today. Okay, so and the reason we're going to do them together, what do you think about how they work together?
Well, whenever you're working your back, your biceps are automatically assisting. So they've already got the nice blood flow in there, so you might as well go ahead and finish them off.
Exactly. So the biceps are natural with your back, guys, okay? It's a pulling movement, okay? Therefore, it's a natural. Then with the triceps, how about with the triceps?
Well, they're also in a little bit of assistance when you're using your back. And the blood flow is also already within the arm, so it's a good time to go ahead and continue to work on the arms, biceps and triceps.
Perfect, yeah. So, and they're both smaller muscle groups, okay? You've got 3 heads in the triceps, you've got 2 in the biceps, but they're small, okay? So we'll already have all that blood right there. We'll have all that nutrition going to that area. Very good time to do it all together. So we're gonna start on a back move, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on the lat pulls, okay? So keep in mind, these are the Basics 101, okay? So we're not gonna get into any crazy bent over rows and things of that nature. We're looking at the beginners and intermediates here on this particular workout, so we don't want to do anything that might get you injured or might get you too far down the road too quickly that you might have some kinds of issues. Let's learn the basics. Let's go ahead and start on the lat pull downs, and Kelly will get us started on those.
So one thing you first of all want to look for is to make sure your grip is even. You do want a wide grip here. I don't go all the way out because my arms are actually too short for that, but you do want to be pretty wide. Automatically you should start to see the lats start to flare out. You're going to slightly lean back from the hip, not the spine, pulling it just to the top of the chest with the collarbone, and you are operating here from the lats.
So you can see where it's working here, guys, okay? We're working this area right here. You'll notice too the cadence. We discussed that on our other videos, the Basics 101. The cadence is something that you'll use whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, or pro, okay? There are some other cadence techniques that you can utilize that will accomplish some other goals, and we'll get into that kind of stuff in later videos, okay? But for the most part, you want that type of cadence. Slower on the way, negative, a little faster on the positive. Let me set up my weight real quick. We'll go ahead and hit mine. So again, we want a wider grip. We want it pretty even. Get yourself situated to where your back is straight, and we're going to pull down to the top of our chest.
So I want you to notice how he's allowing the shoulders to raise up and the lats are actually fully extending. So you're actually letting those shoulder blades come all the way up. And the thing about pulling those shoulder blades down, the elbows coming back almost to a V or a W. Also, you can see in Tom here, as he's doing this, his biceps are flexing a little bit, so the biceps are also working in the exercise.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we're going to hit our second working set. So again, guys, you can see this area that's being worked, and that's what we want to concentrate on. Remember that mind-muscle connection, right? So be thinking about this area as you're pulling that weight down. you want to work this. You don't want to work your arms. You're going to get some arm work in there because it's a natural to the lats, but this is the area that you're looking to work.
So what's important too is don't let you're not working from the shoulders. The shoulders are just assisted. So you want to actually think about that big wing in your back moving.
Okay, oops, I gotta change my weight. Okay, working set number 2.
Alright, so you see here on top how this is coming out, and then he's pulling down, and you can see that back muscle working. That's what you're aiming for. So you have to find that muscle group. Also notice how his elbows are kind of coming just slightly back behind him. That's a tip I always try and give my clients to look for.
Okay guys, so once again, that's the lat pull down. We recommend 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps. We're gonna go ahead and set up for our next exercise and move into it.
All right.
Okay guys, Kelly's all set up for the lat pull. Kelly, why don't you give him a little quickie on what you're doing here?
So I'm actually rowing. So you would see this machine in most gyms, different variations. Some are up on benches. And I'm just going to pull. You want to try and keep the back straight. Your feet should be pressed and firm. And what you want to make sure you're doing is not rocking. So I'm thinking about using my back to pull this in towards me. And I don't want to pull it too high nor too low.
Notice how she's got her elbows in, guys. So the elbows in are going to recruit more of the back.
And then do let that full extension happen before I pull it back.
Cool. Okay, we've already warmed up. So these are our working sets. Let me go ahead and hit a working set. Okay, first time on this one. Okay, so one of the things too you'll notice with Kelly and myself, we have our knees bent, okay? You don't want to keep your knees straight, you're going to wind up hurting them. That weight pulling you forward going to hurt. Okay, the other thing is, and a lot of times, I know there are some gyms that have blocks that we can put in there that allow you to move back a little further, and that block gives you a little bit more of a stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize what we got here, but keep that in mind too. Your gym may have some blocks, or it may have an extension piece there that you can utilize to get a little bit more stretch. So again, stick that chest out, elbows in, tense the back.
Again, he's got a very slight lean back from the hip, not from the spine. But he's not using the momentum of his torso to pull that back and forth. He's keeping that same range of motion, concentrating on the lats to allow those to bring that weight back. Nice stretch here as it goes back in to the machine. And then exhaling as the weight is coming towards you or on the exertion, the working part of the exercise. Inhaling on the way back in. Make sure you get enough air in. It's very important when you're working out.
Yeah, I'll be honest guys, I like a little more stretch. So depending upon where you're working out, what piece of equipment you have, sometimes when you travel, of course you're using different equipment. Some allow you to stretch a little more, some allow you to stretch a little less. If you can stretch a little more, absolutely go for it. Once again, don't do anything that's going to be uncomfortable, okay? But a good stretch there is actually very good on the lat. Okay guys, Kelly's going to hit her second working set. Keep in mind we're doing 3 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions each. Notice you're stretching, keeping your elbows in, emphasizing the lats. This part works the lower lat a little bit more.
also known as the row. So that's one thing I kind of think about when I'm doing this, is if I was rowing a boat, to think about using the lats to be able to do this exercise. Keeping my focus on back.
And how does this exercise work for women? I know a lot of women that I coach and whatnot, they're concerned with getting that big, bulky look.
Right.
They're afraid they're gonna look like me.
Right.
Obviously you don't look like me, but you're doing this exercise.
I do this exercise because you get that nice V taper to the back, which is going to emphasize the waist. And if you don't have a very pronounced waist, this can actually help create one. This is also the exercise that I often hear the complaint about women having the back roll. It kind of comes up from the bra. Well, once you lose the body fat, you would like to have that nice back without having those folds and puckers in the skin, and this actually helps with that quite a bit.
Okay guys, now we're set up for our third and final back exercise. This is also another version of a lat pull or a lat row with the cables and the rope. The nice thing that we like about this, particularly for beginners and intermediates, it's not a dangerous move, okay? It's one that requires a little bit of getting used to get the right angles and so forth, okay? But once you do, it puts a nice stretch on the lats, okay? We talked about some of our last videos. Remember that stretching of the fascia allows the muscle to lengthen. When the muscle lengthens, you can activate more fiber, okay?
One more.
Excellent, excellent, good job, good job. So just turn around a little bit. So you see that taper in the back, guys? Again, she doesn't look like me, okay? So she's not big and bulky, she's just got that nice differentiation, okay? And that's really what we're looking for with the ladies. If you're looking to compete, ladies, obviously we can grow you some more muscle, okay? But for the most part, that's what a lot of women are looking for right there. Okay, again, we're gonna have a slight bend. We're gonna keep our hips back. Okay, we're gonna accentuate the lats here. So one thing you'll notice is when we come forward, we're keeping those elbows out. Why? Because you can see what it does to the lats just doing that, okay? And then we're bringing those elbows in on the way down.
So you see what's called like the lat flare here on top. This is coming up and letting the lat stretch, and then pulling down using those lats. So again, when you're doing this exercise, you want to stay in control of the weight and control of the cable. In other words, you don't want the cable to control you. See how he's letting it slowly come back to almost a returning position, not quite all the way to return, meaning the plates are not touching. And he's not letting it whip back up or slam the weights back down. He's controlling it, so he's fighting that resistance on the cable machine.
And this is an exercise where you can crank out a lot of reps because you're not using overly heavy weight and you're really trying to key in on that muscle group. So like right now I use a little bit, probably too light. And I'm going to get about 20 reps in. But again, it's not dangerous or anything like that, so it's not a problem. And again, this is that area that it's bringing out, guys, okay? And that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to get that flare for the guys. We're looking to get that nice taper for the women. Okay, Kelly's going to hit her second working set. One thing to remember, guys, hydration, very, very important.
So here, that's what I look for in myself too. I'm looking to see that this lat is standing out. I can see myself in the mirror here, and then pulling down.
Good job, Kel. So once again, ladies, you're gonna have just a nice V taper, that nice back in the dress, that smaller waist look. Okay, and again, a lot of things are simply that, a look. Bodybuilders, when we work out, you know, we're looking to add muscle in certain areas and so forth, maybe where we're lacking, okay? We're looking to get a bigger back, which makes our waist look smaller. Same thing works with the ladies, right?
Right, exactly. And ladies, the other thing is as we start to age, unfortunately, our waist starts to thicken just a little bit. So this would be a nice exercise to add into to get that nice V to the back so that you can accentuate your waist.
Okay.
Make it a little smaller.
Yeah. And again, aesthetics, it's all part of aesthetics, right? And the better you look, the better you feel, the more likely you are to do it. Okay, that's more motivation.
Not to mention when you're working in your garden and things like that, just going through daily functions, this is a great, all these exercises we did today are great functional exercises because they keep you nice and strong, allowing you to be able to pull things, rake, all kinds of things that we do in life. It keeps us functional.
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, if you have any questions, hit us up on our email, and this is going to end our back session for the day, back 101, okay? This is the basics again. And we're going to go ahead and let you guys loose, but remember, if you like, please, what do they want to do?
Click on that like button.
Please.
Ask us for help. We're here. We're happy to help.
Subscribe, like, definitely comment, ask us for help. We love questions. We're here to help you, okay?